Welcome to another episode of Positive Solutions for Life. This is Peggy Meyer. Today's guest is Colby Wilk. Colby is a typical counselor or coach. He really is not your typical counselor or coach, I should say. He is an intuitive wayfinder with his sharp intuition and no nonsense approach. He cuts through the noise to help people get unstuck and aligned with who they really are fast. By blending deep energy work with real world results, Colby helps people find their path forward. He helps people shift what seems unchangeable, the very core of a person. So, whether you're stuck, seeking, or ready to soar, he'll guide you to a life that feels richer, freer, and more you than ever before. So, welcome to the podcast, Colby.
Yay! I'm here.
Yes,
Woohoo! Thanks for
welcome.
having
Welcome. I'm so excited for our conversation because I really have no idea where this is going to go, but I really want to hear more about this intuitive wayfinder that you are. So, can you please start the conversation by just sharing just a little bit more about you, your personal journey, and how it has led to where you are today?
me. Okie dokie. Intuitive wayfinding means that I use my intuitive gift to spot what's in someone's way that's hidden in their blind spot that's causing them suffering. And then I use my gift to spot that, bring the client's attention to it
Mhm.
so that it can be transformed and they move more towards who they really are
Mhm.
as opposed to who they've been taught to be, who they're trying to be, who they're trying to prove themselves to be, who
Mhm.
they really are.
Mhm.
And so they can sense the life that's been calling them.
Nice.
All of us have a life that's calling us, but we may
Mhm.
not want to admit it and may not want to hear it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's possible.
Right.
So that's what I do. And the way this initiated was like any person in the healing arts. I come from a dysfunctional family and attempting to heal myself.
Mhm.
And after repeated efforts with this modality or this therapist or that acupuncturist or this supplement, I recognized that to transform myself, I would need to develop my intuition to spot what's been in my way.
Mm.
And so that's how this began, is
Yeah.
like an interest to get free
Yeah. And I think
and
we
get
all
free
are
of
searching for that.
well, no, I don't know if all of us are searching
Okay,
for.
that maybe just us that are just like, striving to do more, be better. We want
Well,
to
we don't
fulfill
want to
our purpose.
strive. We don't want to strive
Okay.
because striving is another word for grasping.
Okay.
And another way of thinking grasping is if you're trying to change yourself, the very nature of trying to change is effort.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're efforting, you're not accepting yourself.
Mm.
No good will come from any sort of effort that's generated from I'm not okay.
Mm-hmm.
Once you recognize, wait a minute, the goal here is to accept myself. That's the goal. Whoever I am,
Mm-hmm.
good, bad, ugly, beautiful. My goal is to accept myself. And in the acceptance of who I am, you might want to change. But you can't change unless you accept. You just can't because that's the nature of that is you hate yourself.
Mm. Can you dig a little bit deeper into that? Because I feel like that is like a really key piece for a lot of people because I'm not sure that a lot of us have heard, we might as well, okay, we have to accept ourselves, but like really, how do you help people do that? I
Well,
mean,
if you're a pedophile, let's just say pedophile, or you're somebody who's an alcoholic or whatever. If let's take alcoholic, Billy is somebody who drinks a lot and wants to change it because Billy thinks it's bad and Billy thinks he's bad for drinking.
mm,
Billy's not going to be able to change it, not from that perspective, as opposed to I really am drawn to alcohol and some part of me really likes it. That part of me, okay, let me accept it. Now, what does that part really want? What is, let me get really curious
mhm,
and go
mhm,
into accepting the fact that I enjoy, some part of me enjoys this,
mhm,
as opposed to I shouldn't drink. I got to stop drinking. Let me find someone to hold me accountable, whatever the case may be. Nothing
mhm.
change will not occur.
Yeah,
Change. The
yeah.
challenge with pedophiles, for instance, is not that I'm a fan, but by telling somebody what they're doing is wrong, which, you know, it's not healthy.
Mhm,
You're not, people who have pedophilia aren't able to change. because they're not allowed to speak about it. And if they do, there are consequences, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Which is understandable, without a
Yeah.
doubt. Totally
Right.
understandable. And I want to keep our children safe, certainly. But if you don't accept what you want to change, you can't get there. It's just the reason why people go up and down in weight, right?
Hmm. Right.
Oh, I don't look cute. Okay, I'm going to go on this diet. And there's only so long that your will take you.
Right.
Only
Right.
so far, a
Yeah.
week, 2 weeks, a month, and then you start slipping and gaining the weight back. But
Hmm.
if you can accept yourself, look, I'm this weight, and I love myself anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now you got something. I love myself regardless if for instance, another way of looking at it. If you want to make money, and
Hmm.
I'm working with a client who really wants to make money,
Hmm.
I want to be wealthy. Okay, well, the first question is why?
Yeah.
Why? Because we usually don't question why we want it.
No.
That's right. Oh, I want it because I want to this, that, and the other thing, and basically prove to my mother and father that I'm okay. That's doesn't work,
Hmm.
right? Doesn't work. So then we got to explore that. But let's just say I want to make money, and that's a clear, valid, true desire.
Hmm.
Then the quickest way to make a lot of money is get into equilibrium, into peace with poverty. Once you get clear that you're okay, even if you're poor, the energy is dissipated, and now wealth can come. Another example, a young lady called me just last week, wants to be in love. 35, yogini, beautiful girl, beautiful. And I go and look because I use my intuitive gift. And I see her, trying to get married in the white dress, the whole thing. And there's no one there to marry her. And I ask my beings why.
Hmm.
And they tell me she wants to be validated. And until she gets that handled, she ain't gonna find her partner. So she has to so I say to her, hey, you don't want love, you want to be validated. Most healings happen because people are willing to face off with the truth. That's where healing takes place. Now, she initially argued a bit, right? No, I really want, no, you want to be
Hmm.
validated. Having a guy on your arm validates you, makes you feel like you're okay, you're purposeful, you're acceptable. And she starts crying. And she's like, that's true. She doesn't want to be loved. She doesn't want to love somebody and deal
Hmm.
with their mess.
Yeah.
She doesn't want that. She wants to be valid. She wants it. I want to know I'm okay, which is fine. Let's
Yeah.
accept where you are.
Hmm. Hmm.
Can't get you into love until we accept where we got to eat up the validation energy
Hmm.
by getting you to validate yourself. Then maybe the lover will come.
Yeah.
Not,
Yeah.
we don't know. But again, you can't change unless you accept where you are. And
Hmm.
so many healers, therapists are chasing the wrong direction because a lot of times the client doesn't exactly know what they want. They're not really being honest with themselves. And
Yeah.
most healing, again, is about getting somebody to face off with the truth.
Yeah. And
Right.
that's hard. I mean, we hide the truth. Like
Yeah, even
we
from
don't
ourselves.
want to. We don't want to get there. We want to say all these other things about it. But accepting, that's really kind of scary. I mean,
Right?
in a
Because
little bit.
right, your life may change. You might upset the apple cart. You might leave your marriage. You might, need to I don't want that. I'll disappoint people. People will be angry with me. This is not how I was raised, whatever the case may be.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, well, the question is, what do you want?
Yeah. Yeah.
Most people want what they want. And what I mean by that is they want more comfort and they want more convenience. It's basically what most people want.
Hmm.
Comfort, nicer home, boat, job, income, or convenience, access to services, flights, travel,
Hmm.
whatever. Most people want comfort and convenience, but comfort and convenience do not give you happiness,
No.
do not give you purpose.
No.
And so most people who are stuck, lost, they're
Hmm.
choosing comfort and convenience over being who they are.
And at some point, that's like a conflict within yourself.
Absolutely. It's all of our comforts. It's all of our the question is, am I willing to be me? Because
Mhm.
being me is raising your freak flag, raising it up and saying, look, here we go, hoo, hoo, hoo. Just for myself. I wrestle with this. I'm doing
Mhm.
this new venture called Gay Next Chapter for gay men facing midlife. I'm a gay man. And I was like, this has been going on a couple months, and I was resisting putting it out there, right? And I'm like, oh, I'm afraid to see that people will see I'm going to fail. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. And with that, now I can make a choice to not do it.
Mhm.
But it's the awareness of that I'm tying myself up in knots,
Mhm.
mad that I haven't done this, I'm not moving ahead, yet refusing to move ahead. Oh, I'm doing it. I'm holding myself hostage
Mhm. Yeah.
because
Yeah. Yeah. Fear kind of traps us a lot.
it
And
does.
and what I hear too, I'm going back to, accepting to sometimes we identify, we put our identity into something and then we really like I am this and then I don't really want to like accept that maybe that's not true or that it is true and I'm afraid of what it might be and how the consequences might look after that. I mean, how would you wrap identity into, some of this acceptance piece?
The test, in my opinion,
Hmm.
true spirituality is how willing are you to give up your identity? How willing are you to give up yourself? Now, you and I, are not the same people that we were when we were 16.
Thank goodness.
Not the same people when we were 25. Not the
Mhm.
same people when we were 30. So, in some levels, the aging process causes us to relinquish ourselves, the self that we think we are. Okay. However, success in this country after around 30 is based on you have one self and you build a kingdom around it. You become a master or you become an influencer, right? You become
Mhm.
that kind of thing. That's counter to true spirituality because you've got to continue to relinquish your identity in order to know no identity.
Mm.
In order to get that I am everything and I am nothing. If you're holding on to your identity, mother, farmer, wife, and that's who you identify yourself as, you can't change. You cannot change. So here's the deal. If you're really good looking, okay, enjoy being good looking. Enjoy the looks. Enjoy whatever that is, but don't start to identify that you are that who is good looking. That's not who you are. It's what you get. It's what you
Mhm.
have. It's your gift. If you're really smart, enjoy being smart. Enjoy the Sunday crossword person. Enjoy being the person at the dinner party who gets attention. Enjoy, but don't think that's who you are.
Mm.
If you're really intuitive, don't think that's you. I am the great psychic. I can see what's in your way. Look at me. Ho, ho, ho. It's not who you are. It's
Yeah.
your gift. And it's also any gift has fertile ground for attachment.
Hmm.
And so as soon as you attach that is me, you now suffer. You now are tied. So if you're stuck, I keep on coming back to stuck and lost
Yeah.
because I imagine the people who are going to listen to this are identifying themselves as stuck or lost.
Hmm.
Speak into that.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're stuck or lost, I ask you, what identity are you holding on to? So the way to find your identity is I am X.
Hmm.
I am a healer. I'm a man. I'm a gay man. I'm athletic. Whatever those is, which ones are you really tied to?
Hmm.
And do you want to keep being tied to it? Are you willing to relinquish it and not suffer?
Yeah. Yeah. Because
Right?
those keep us tied. They keep us trapped that we cannot be anybody else.
Right. So, for instance, I am losing my hair a bit, as you can see, right? And initially, when this started happening, I suffered over it. Because I am somebody with good hair. I've always had good hair. I've always had really great hair, right? And now I'm not somebody with such great hair. Oh, I'll put this on, I'll put that on, I'll rub, I'll massage, and not from a place of enjoyment, from a place of concern,
Hmm.
worry,
Hmm.
experience.
Yeah.
I'm suffering over my identification as being somebody with good hair, as opposed to I still got a lot of hair.
Yeah.
Really grateful for the hair that I do have. And I hope it stays, but if it doesn't, it'll be okay.
Yeah.
It'll be okay. Somebody will find me attractive. So, yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay. It's
Now,
accepting where you're at.
accepting where you are at by giving yourself permission to accept the circumstance.
Yeah.
And we are trained as Americans
Hmm.
to be very like gung ho and look at my beautiful life. Look at my beautiful children, my beautiful husband or wife, my like as if you have something to do with it, right? As if. Look what I created, as opposed to, oh, life is beautiful.
Hmm.
Life is beautiful.
Yeah.
There's no my life.
Right. 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 And that's a different mindset shift. You know,
Absolutely.
if because we feel like it's like this is what I have. These are like my possessions. Like I did something to earn this. But really, we're grateful it kind of fell into us, whether it's our gift or whether it's our circumstances. We kind of created that in some way. Yes, choices, but it's a life that is given to you.
Right. You work, you get out of bed, you go to work. Yeah, sure. You got yourself educated. Absolutely. But as opposed to feeling like you're entitled to whatever you
Right.
have, feeling lucky and surprised that you have it, whether that's true or not true, it doesn't matter. It's a better mindset.
Hmm.
I'm surprised and I'm so lucky.
Yeah. Yeah.
That kind of energy is really interesting to be around,
Hmm.
as opposed to somebody who feels entitled
Yeah.
that they should have what I have, or I
Yeah.
should have a unit.
Yeah.
So I'm less interested in what's in someone's head, to be
Hmm.
honest, because we call it, your mental mindscape, whatever. But
Yeah.
I'm more interested in taking people into their intuition, because your intuition is outside of your mental body
Hmm.
or in your soul body. I'm interested in helping people connect with the larger, wiser part of them,
Yeah.
call it their soul, which is
Okay.
both in their body and outside their body,
Hmm.
and what their soul's desire is for them. Now, in my experience, you are not taking marching orders from your soul like you're being marionetted. However, your soul hears your true desire,
Hmm.
not your desire for bonbons or pizza, but your true desire. And your soul's like, okay, Colby, Bob, whoever really desires this. And your soul is trying to help you get that.
Hmm.
But it may seem like a circuitous path to get it.
Hmm.
And all you need to do is get quiet enough to hear it, sense it. That doesn't mean I tell people this, it's not like your soul is screaming, Colby! It's
Yeah.
not screaming, it's not horns, right? It's not Charlie Brown's parents. Wah, 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 wah. It is a calm, still sense. This is my next move.
How do people tap into that?
Well, you tap into it yourself all the time.
Yeah, I do.
You do. So how do you do it? There's all sorts of ways. One, when people have had the experience, and everyone's had the experience, I say, okay, well, what was that? Well, for whatever reason, I stumbled into a stillness. I stumbled into a quiet. Okay, great. I wasn't afraid or worried. Okay, great. All right. The soul, in my experience, can only speak to us when we're being ourselves. That's the only time the soul can really speak to us. We have to get to its energy in order to connect with it. Now,
Hmm.
that's different than angels. Angels can connect with us when we are in the worst, frustrated, anxious, sad, rageful place, because they have
Hmm.
that ability. But the soul, no, you've got to get your energy to it. Okay. And so that whenever you stumbled, for your audience, when have you stumbled into a moment of insight? We've all had moments where there was a pivotal moment where you
Hmm.
made a choice. We all know.
Yeah.
We all had moments. Okay, what was that? Well, somehow I got quiet. Somehow there was space in between my thoughts.
Hmm.
And somehow I calmed down long enough to stop worrying. That's what we got to do with you. So let's learn some practices. And there's lots of practices on my website in the blog for your listeners. And for your listeners, I'm offering a gift called the First Secret to Finding Your Way. And I will send you that link if I ever
Yeah.
or send it to you. Um, and so the key here is One, we've got to create space in between your thoughts. Now, some people do that by meditating. Some people don't want to meditate.
Hmm.
Okay, great. Let's go for a walk with your dog and go into the woods. Does that work for you? Oh my God, I love walking by the woods. Okay, great. How about you? Oh, I don't want to walk. I like to swim. Okay, great. Let's go swimming.
Hmm.
But no iPod, no nothing. Let's go. Okay, what about you? Dancing. Great. What's going to take to get you into that still place?
Hmm.
And then do that.
Yeah.
And then set the invitation to connect with a larger, wiser part of you. One. Two, hang out with somebody who's got that connection. And we are tribal animals. Our fields communicate with each other. And so if they are able to communicate with their soul, hang out with them long enough, your body will learn from their
Hmm.
body how to do it. If you set that intention, excuse me, and you
Hmm.
also are honest with the other person, look, you have this gift. I like you. I want to hang out with you. Is that cool?
Yeah.
That cool. So, okay. So get yourself still through whatever means. Hang out with somebody. Third, set your intention and wait.
Mm.
Wait. Wait does not mean sit there, twiddle your thumbs with expectation. That's not waiting.
Come on, it's supposed to come in the next 5 minutes, right? Like that's all I got.
Right, right. I'm in the waiting room. I'm looking at my phone. I'm waiting, Colby. You're not waiting. That's not real waiting. Waiting. Lending your attention, patience.
Mm.
So many people, especially younger people, are trying to get somewhere. And you can't get to enlightenment, illumination by grasping at it. Because the part of you that is grasping cannot be illuminated.
Hmm.
It can't because it's grasping. The nature of illumination is rest. That's the nature of it, is restful.
Hmm.
So the more you are in that, we'll call it liminal space, where everyone's had that experience of, oh, I'm about to drift off to sleep. It's so nice. I'm not exactly sure who I am, and I don't really care. Now that's fertile ground. God, your soul makes it very easy to
Hmm.
get to it, get communication with it, but you've got to allow yourself to get there, to
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
it. And if you're having trouble, have a session with me or somebody else
Hmm.
to help you see what's in your blind spot because you said a lot of people are afraid to be who they really are.
Yeah.
All of us want to change, all of us,
Yeah.
but very few people are willing to change. We want our outside circumstances to change. I want a bigger house. I want a hotter partner. I want to be healthier, but very few of us are willing to change. Very
Well,
few.
that takes personal responsibility. Isn't it easier to, control the outside world?
Um, it's, in my opinion, it's easier to accept yourself than change circumstance.
Mhm.
Because if you're trying to change circumstance, you're trying to pull a boulder uphill.
Yeah.
You're trying to make something happen. And my friends, you are not that powerful. You're not, I'm sorry to report, you are not that powerful.
That's the hard truth, isn't it? Like, thanks. Like,
I'm sorry, you're not
for
that
what?
powerful. You could do it. You could do it. I've done it, right? Like you
Yeah.
just grind and push and because as Americans, we are taught hard work.
Mhm.
But as we know, the truly successful people don't work very hard. And if they do attend to their responsibilities, it doesn't feel like work,
Right.
right? So, okay, I'm stuck. I keep on going to this because I
Yeah.
assume the listeners are here.
Yeah.
This is interesting. There's a cycle of stuck and lost, which is you get stuck,
Hmm.
you give up trying to get where you want to get, then you enter into lost. I don't know where to go. Holy, I'm just completely lost. I'm completely turned. So if I'm
Hmm.
stuck, meaning I can't get out, help me, help me, help me. Lost. I finally surrender. Once you get to lost, that's fertile ground. Then you get it. You have an insight. But
Hmm.
you have to get to lost to have the insight. You get an insight. And as soon as you get the insight, you forget the insight. And then you go to your addictions, which is food, alcohol, drugs, gambling, shopping, whatever your addiction is.
Hmm.
And then after the addictions, you're stuck, lost. Get it, forget it, back to addictions. That's the cycle. So the key here is okay, you're stuck.
Hmm.
All right, let's get to lost. the way we get to lost is we give up our agenda.
Mm,
I can't get a job. I've been looking, I've been looking, I've been looking. Okay, let's let go. Let's stop
mm,
looking. Let's get to lost. I'm not talking about months, a few
right.
days. Stop looking. Can't meet a guy. Stop going out. Take your profile down.
Yeah.
Get lost. From lost, you're going to get something. You're going to have an insight, a truth. Once you have that insight, then put in a practice that reminds you. So write down the insight, stick that on your kitchen table so that when you have coffee in the morning or tea or mushroom, whatever, you'll see the insight. Put a practice in place to keep the insight alive. Because all of us have read a book, a self new agey book, and think this is incredible. And then 2 weeks later, you're back to your same nonsense.
Hmm.
You need a practice. Keep that practice alive and then go public with your practice. Tell everyone you know. Oh, I had this insight, and now I'm doing this practice to keep it alive so that then your community helps you to remind you.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's,
And builds that habit, builds that practice of remembering what that insight was and how that's going to help change from the inside out versus outside in.
yeah. Yeah. And as we get older, the outside in works less because we do not have the chi, the energy to force circumstances. Because, as people will tell me, like, I'm older and I'm more wacky than I was because you're trying to force.
Hmm. Yeah.
You don't have the resilience in your system that you did in your 20s.
Yeah.
That's just true.
Yeah. So let's find an easier way. The easier way is to get quiet.
Easier way,
Well, okay, well, maybe not easy. Simpler?
simpler. The easier way. It's interesting.
I
So that
know. I know. The play on words. I don't know. Like
words are
I have
important.
that.
Words give us. Look, if you're a seeker and you are a seeker, you don't really have a choice in the matter. There are some people drawn to know who they are, who they really are, the magnificent, limitless self that they are. There are some, there are some, and there are some that are not.
Mhm,
So if you're a seeker, you know it. You know you're a seeker. And anytime you try not to be a seeker and give into, let's call it spiritual materialism, you know it doesn't work.
mhm,
So what I'm sharing with you is something that I've seen work. Now, don't take my word for it. Look at your own life.
mhm,
Look at when you try to make something happen and when you let go. The evidence is there. I don't need to convince you of anything, right? Look at your evidence. Okay, when something really great happened for me, what happened right before? Right? What
mhm,
happened right before? Years ago, I was struggling financially, and I finally let go. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to worry about money anymore. Just going to give this, a few days. And every time a thought
mhm,
comes in about money, I'm just going to correct the thought, sit in well-being, keep on reminding myself well-being. And it took about 2 days, and I finally got this call out of the blue for a contract, a very sizable contract. I'm like, that is crazy that somebody would find me,
mhm,
my website, out of many, many websites. So when I was doing corporate training on leadership and listening and da da da. And it came out of nowhere. I'm like, it came because I finally quieted down and allowed well-being as
mhm.
opposed to try to make well-being happen.
Yeah.
Another question I'd like to have your list, the information just coming through,
Yeah. Yeah.
so, is what is it going to take to be satisfied right now?
Mhm,
Right now, what's it going to take to be satisfied? We go, oh, a man in my bed, a woman in my bed, or whoever in my bed. Oh, abs. At the end of the day, really, when you really think about what's it going to take for me to be satisfied, it's not any one thing.
mhm,
Oh, I could have the abs. I still probably wouldn't be satisfied. Oh, I can have the man in my bed. Yeah, that would be fun. Yeah, but after a while, it'll get annoying because he's like, ugh, he's in the bed. He's making up. I gotta clean. Get out of the house. Okay, that's not it. I could have somebody from whatever wanting to take me somewhere and pay me. Yeah, that would be fun. That's not it. What's it going to take right now to be satisfied? And really, it's a choice.
mhm,
It's
mhm.
really a choice to drop your agenda. Many of us are arguing with God.
Yeah.
We don't like our life, think it should be different, and are mad at God. We're mad. We're arguing. And anyone who argues with God, the divine, whatever you want to call that, nature, Popeye, Santa, whatever you want to call that, right? Anyone who argues with God is going to lose.
Mhm.
You're going to lose. God doesn't care. I'm sorry, doesn't care that you're arguing. God or whoever created this universe this way. All right, why don't I choose to not argue and enjoy myself? What's it going to take right now to be satisfied? Well, maybe I should put down that extra slice of pizza because that's giving me digestive issues. Okay, that's informative. Okay, great. That's not changing myself. Okay, that's information. Okay, what can I do right now to be even more satisfied? I can get really still and quiet.
Mhm.
I can start breathing more deeply. And the truth is, in my experience, the more satisfied you are, the more satisfied you become.
Mhm.
Circumstances start to change.
Mhm.
And even if they don't, you're still more satisfied.
Yeah. Yeah. And to me, that leads into accepting.
Yeah.
And that's really what we want.
We all want, and very few human beings know this or will to say this, but the thing that people want, really want, they don't want a new house. They don't want a new boyfriend. Maybe they want food if they're or home. You need those basic needs handled
Right.
for sure, absolutely. But after those basic needs are handled, what you want is peace. That's what you want is peace, well-being. When we look at somebody who's enlightened, illuminated, and we recognize that person has something, what they have, because I get these calls all the time. Colby, I want to be awakened. I get this call at least twice a week. And then I say, what does that mean to you? Usually they can't tell me. They just like the word. But really, in my experience, when we look at somebody who's awakened, they are more alive than the other people
Mhm.
that you know, or they are more fully alive.
Mhm.
That's what awakening is. And they're more fully alive because they're more fully themselves and
Mhm.
unapologetically so. Not in a screamy, riotty,
Right.
flaggy, hang a sign kind of way, but they're more alive. That's what we want.
Yeah.
And that the basis of that is peace.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace within themselves.
Peace within themselves. Now there are two paths. This information is just
Yep.
coming.
Yeah. Keep
So you
going.
two paths. Two paths. One could say there are two paths. One, people want influence. Influence leads to power. Okay? Influence, power. I want to be influential. I want power. I want the home, the sexy people, the community. I want to change things. Influence, power.
Mhm.
Okay? One path. Other path. I want more peace. The way you get peace is through presence. Being here, being now.
Mhm.
Peace, presence. The more presence you have, the more influence you have, the more power you have. That's how it works. That's the second path. Now let's go
Mhm.
back to the first path. Influence, power, it falls apart. You're going to get your head chopped off because the universe is going to say, see that you don't have the infrastructure for real power. You're like a pyramid that's been turned on its head. You
Mhm.
don't have it, and so you
Mhm.
get cut off by the knees. But if you're coming from the desire for greater peace and you're willing
Mhm.
to be more presence, you generate influence, power comes,
Mhm.
hold.
Yeah.
System is able to hold.
Right.
So for me, I was going for influence. I have a gift. I'm going to be really successful. I'm going to change people's lives and they're going to be
Mhm.
thankful. And the bottom came out from under me. And it took that to recognize, holy moly, I'm an arrogant son of a, I'm doing this from the wrong motivation. And it took years to recover. Now I'm on the other side of it.
Mhm.
And what people really want.
Yeah. Peace. Yeah.
But our society trains us. I mean, how many Instagram influences are there, right? Look at me. I've got the answer. I've got this new
Yeah.
shoe, this new supplement.
Yep. Yep.
Follow me. I got you've seen it.
Yep.
Oh, high ticket coaching clients. I'll teach you Jesus, man. Like, right? There's so much out there to reinforce our ego.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. But after that, I mean, we chase those things, but like you're saying, it's like that inverted pyramid where it's just on that little kind of piece is touching the ground, and any little kind of blow to, the ego or the doubt or the fear comes in, it can just throw it off course.
Absolutely. Or have you fall apart.
Yeah. But if
Yep,
it's grounded in peace, the foundation is solid.
exactly. This is why we see so many Hollywood celebrities get to a certain place and then self-destruct,
Hmm.
right? And God bless them. Absolute power corrupts absolutely, right? So I'm not making them wrong. It's just part of the process of maturity, of
Hmm.
maturation. They
Yeah.
didn't know better. It's not their
Right.
fault.
Yeah.
This is what's happening. So if your life is your listeners, you were doing great, and then your life fell apart. This may be why.
Hmm.
Your foundation was based on the desire for influence,
Hmm.
not on the desire for peace. Well, that's fine and good, Colby. So what do I do now? My life's a mess. Okay, calm down, everyone. Take a breath. I know the situation seems scary right now. I know you feel like you may not be able to make your mortgage or your rent. I know maybe people are running from you because you're scary to them because your life fell apart and they're worried their life might fall apart if yours has. Okay, take a breath. It's okay. It's okay. Been there. It's okay. Take a breath. What can I do right now to be more satisfied? Calm down. Calm. Take a breath. You need a practice to bring you into well-being. Yeah, but I only have so long until. I get it. I
Hmm.
understand. But that line of thinking is not going to help you because you're worried and you're trying to control what cannot be controlled.
Hmm.
We like to think with the laws of attraction, the secret, that if we understand how the universe works, we can manipulate it. The law of attraction and those other laws are helpful, but God, the divine, Allah, is called the great mystery
Hmm.
because we don't know how it works.
Yeah.
And its ways are not our ways,
Right.
right? So the best you could fight the great mystery and try to decode it. Good luck. Good luck. Or you could try to mirror its frequency and stop fighting it. Enter into deeper states of well-being, regardless of your circumstance. Colby, that's really hard. I understand.
Hmm.
Getting my food at the food bank. I understand. I don't have medical insurance. I understand. But being worried and concerned, which is totally appropriate and
Hmm.
completely human, and I have been there. Take a deep breath. What can I do to be more satisfied? What practice can I put in place that mirrors those times where I had contact with flow, my soul? Let me
Hmm.
put that in place. Now, this is not a one-time thing.
No.
It's a moment-to-moment relationship with the universe. And there are those of us who have working relationships with the universe,
Hmm.
those that do not. My washing machine, I didn't even know this, needs maintenance. I had no idea. The guy who put it in, I don't know, you're supposed to run vinegar through it every 3 cycles, right? To clear out whatever. No one told me. I thought you'd install a washing machine and that would be that. And I
Hmm.
would wash and that would be it. No, it requires maintenance. If you want to keep the washing machine working, you need maintenance. We need maintenance. This
Hmm.
is not a one-time thing. But Colby, I saw this ad, and this guy's going to give me Shakti pot and wake me up, and it doesn't work that way. Yes, those things can be helpful, but you need
Hmm.
to manage your own
Yeah.
frame, your own perception.
Because you're with yourself 24/7. You can go get these, you know, treatments or, go and do these things, a weekly basis, but there's still 24/7 that you're with yourself. So practicing finding those times on a daily basis
Right?
to.
If you are going to somebody healer, and I'm a healer, right?
Mhm.
I give energy, right? Downloads, all
Mhm.
that stuff. But like when someone comes to me and says, Colby, what do you think I should work on? I say, well, I clearly know what you need to work on because you're doing it right now. You're giving your power to me. You're making me more powerful than you are. That's what we need to work on. You owning your power. Because if you think somebody else can change your consciousness than you think someone's more powerful than you. And if someone's more powerful than you, then within that, you think somebody could hurt you,
Mm,
somebody can control you, somebody could devastate you, can annihilate you, and no one can do that because you are here. You're like the infinite. You're infinite.
hmm.
What do I think you need to work on? I would say to that client, we need to work on you holding on to your power. That's what we need. Now, I have a gift, right? It gives the
Yeah.
impression that I know more than the average Joe. And yes, I have a gift, sure.
Hmm.
Right. But there are so many people with gifts that are similar to mine who are making them, just because you're psychic doesn't mean that you're omniscient and doesn't mean you're that kind or compassionate or wise. If you're going to see somebody stuck and lost people out there, find somebody that you like.
Hmm.
Because if you like them as a person, that means you're in resonance with them.
Hmm. Hmm.
Find somebody you think is competent, that has skill. And three, find somebody you believe is ethical.
Yeah.
And don't work with somebody just because you think they're competent but not ethical,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So wild.
It is. Colby, this has been awesome. Like, we're like people, listeners are like, okay, I want to learn more about Colby. Like, where can they find out more about you?
I'm here.
Yes. Where's that?
My, my website, where is that? My website is colbywilk.com. That's COLBYWILK.com. And I'm on Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn, some on Instagram. On my website, there's blog, there's a newsletter where you can stay up to date on the practices I'm giving for free.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, there's a lot of material out there.
Good, good. I will put that information in the show notes so listeners can, quickly get the access to that. So I appreciate it, Colby. So as we wrap up today, this has been a great conversation. I tried to keep up with notes, but I had a hard time. So I got to go back and
Rolling.
listen to this. I know it was just flowing so fast and I wanted to stay present in the moment. So I'm going to have to go back and grab all these gems of that you had, spilled out for us today. So I really appreciate that. And as we wrap up, do you have anything that you want to leave the listeners with, something that maybe we didn't cover that you feel is really important right now, or a thought
Oh,
or
sure.
something?
I do. I do actually. There's a lot of fear out there. There's a lot of chaos out there, especially in the United States, right? With people constantly talking about politics and what's right and what's wrong, what's going to happen, what's not going to happen. The thing to do is not clear your field, but clarify it. We are all notes. You might be a C sharp, I might be a B, whatever it is. We're not trying to raise our vibration. We are trying to clarify the note that we are.
Mm.
You're not trying to be different than you are, which and raise your vibration that equates to I'm going to be different.
Hmm.
I want you to be more of you. So if we compare this to ice cream, if you're chocolate, I want you to be the chocolatiest version of you. If I am rainbow sherbet, I want to be the most rainbow sherbet of me. And
Hmm.
whatever's not me, the chocolate mint that fell into me, I want that out.
Hmm.
We want to be ourselves. So one practice I'd like to share is for your listeners to do
Hmm.
right now, if they're listening, if that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yep. Yep.
Everyone, bring your attention into your body, three fingers below your belly button and in the middle of you. By bringing your attention into your hara, your dantian, other words for still point, I call it your still point because when you're there, you're more still. So down, three fingers below your belly button and in the middle of you. So front, back, in the middle. And take a breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. So we're trying to calm our systems because if unless your system's calm, not much good can happen. Okay. And then you say, I allow, I allow my system to clarify my vibration. I allow my system to clarify my vibration now. And you'll feel stuff coming off of you. And also your vibration through the main line of you, your core, your pranic tube. Good. I allow my vibration to be clarified. I allow my vibration. I allow my frequency. I allow who I am to be clarified. Now, these are not magic words. It's more the intention of it. And you'll notice you start to feel different. You feel different?
Yeah, I do. We're grounded.
Because in all this toxic stuff that's going around us, the more you allow yourself to be you and not tied into that stuff, the more you're going to be a contribution to those around you and the government or which way we go, whatever the case may be. For some people, that means turning off the news. For some people, that means only watching the news an hour a day. For other people, they want to be, present to it. Okay, fine, that's great.
Hmm.
Clarify your vibration. There's so much in Yiddish. I'm Jewish. We call it mishigash, craziness, right? Like, so much
Hmm.
crap.
Hmm.
Clarify my vibration. Make me the most rainbow sherbet. Get all the chocolate chips, the pecans out of there, the raisins, whatever is not supposed to be in rainbow sherbet, or whatever your favorite flavor is. So I'm me. Or better said, the
Hmm.
I am.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Colby.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I see you're a little stoned feeling. So
This is
what?
good. Okay. Yes, I'm calm and whatever now. So I can go and finish my day being more grounded, more myself,
More you.
more me.
You came to be you.
Yeah.
That's what you came to be. Came to be. You didn't come to build a building or make a piece of art. You came to be you. And in being you, you might choose to make a
Right.
building, piece
Right.
of art, the case may be. You came to be you, to have this experience of being you. That's it.
So let's go out and everyone shine a little bit more on being you.
Be you, baby.
Thank you so much, Colby, for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Thank
We
you.
did it! We did it!